I'm a 14-year-old real estate photographer. Yes, you heard that right. I'm only 14 years old. And I got paid to go across all Toronto to shoot houses for real estate agents' listings. No matter if it's condos, detached homes, 2 stories, 3 stories, I did it all. I posted several behind the scenes videos in my Project 50 series, and you guys seem to really enjoy what a day in the life of a 14-year-old real estate photographer looks like. And many of you send me messages saying that you would also like to make this your job and start earning money by shooting houses. So here in this video, I want to share with you my most valuable insights of the business side of content creating, including your most asked questions like my rates and how much I charge. So many of you guys think that you need all sorts of different type of gear and different platforms and like systems and portfolio in order to get started with the real estate photography and all different kind of businesses. But it's actually very easy to develop your skill set in real estate photography because many of the things are very repetitive, and once you get the hang of it, it's just a repeat process for each individual houses. Like for example, the whole process of creating a house tour video won't take me more than 3 hours from shooting and editing. I will probably shoot for only half an hour and I'll edit for 1 or 2 hours. I still remember when I did my first job, it took me literally 3 hours just to shoot photos for a 2-story house, which I don't even know how I did that. And also many of you guys are wondering what kind of gear I shoot with. So I basically just shoot with this Sony a6400 that is shooting this aerial talk right now. I can show you guys over here. Yeah, so as you can see over here, this is the Sony a6400 paired with a Sony 10-18 wide angle f4 lens. Because you need a wide angle lens in order to shoot real estate, because to show the whole house that's big, I used to shoot with an 18mm lens, which so like the image would be just very cropped, which they just don't like that. But the point is, you don't need all sorts of professional gear right at the beginning in order to start. I bought these different stuff throughout the journey, and instead of looking at them as expenses, I look at them as investments, because I know that eventually with the work I do with these gear, it'll pay itself off and earn me profits. So for those of you who ask me how did I afford all these kind of gear, so that's how I did it. Second, where do I find all my clients? So many of you guys ask me, how did I find all the clients that I work with for nowadays, and especially at such a young age of 14? To be completely honest with you, it was a struggle because this real estate market is really saturated, at least in my area. In this Toronto area, everyone is trying to have the best listing media like profile on Instagram, the best house tour videos. So all of the real estate agents have some sort of contracted photographer that's working for them already. So the market is not really friendly for those who want to get new into this business. For those of the people that ask me how I get these clients, I always just answer them, start with the people around you, like your family, friends, your relatives, and like people from your community, things like that, in your neighborhood, because that's in fact how I started. A family friend of ours realized my work and realized that I'm doing this photography and filmmaking stuff and creating stuff on YouTube and Instagram, and they thought that I would be a pretty good filmmaker or content creator for their listings, and that's why they just called me on different photo shoots and different video tours. And I actually just did a few shoots for them like last week, and in fact I do like 1 or 2 house tour videos every single week for them. So you can see how a single sort of, I don't know, connection can take you that far. Now I know that 1 or 2 listings every week might not even able to pay the bills for some of you, but keep in mind that I'm only 14 and I have to do all of these stuff like communicating, scripting, like shooting and editing outside of school, which I'm already busy at. So it's just like pretty crazy for people to know that I'm only 14 and doing all these business side of content creating. But I mean, I like this lifestyle. I think that really keep me like disciplined and productive at all times, so I enjoy it. The third tip is to build up a client circle. You want to have a network of clients that you can contact to, and the best way I found is not through cold emailing, not through cold calling. Those are like back in the days, 1900 stuff, but now the most efficient way is to use Instagram DMs. I DM like 200-300 real estate agents that I can literally pull up onto my Instagram, go to my business profile and show you the whole DM list. But basically there was a time that I really just wanted to like branch out and seek for all different kind of real estate agents in my area. So how you can do it is you just search up your town. Like for example, if I'm based in Toronto, I'll say Toronto Realtors, and I'll follow each individual of them, and I'll like their posts, comment on their posts for a bit, and then I'll DM and offer them free shoots. There were a time for like 2-3 weeks on one of my to-do lists. It's just literally every day it's gonna be like DM 10 real estate agents. And keep in mind, like it might look a little bit like one day DM 10 agents, but 10 days that's 100 real estate agents, and 20 days that's 200. So you can see how little things quickly piles up, and just realize that not every single one of them is gonna respond to you, but at least there's one or two that have a response to you, and you'll be very proud of the progress that you made. So normally the message that I send them over is just introducing myself, that I'm a high school photographer based in this town, and that I'd love to offer them a free shoot to show them on my work. So now they will get a free shoot for their new listing. Also, you can get experiences and some work that you can put onto your portfolio or your Instagram profile. So it's a win-win situation for both of you. And through my experience talking with so much potential clients, I realized that there's basically two types of people when it comes to communicating with young people. So there's those typical people who think that you're so young, you should go back to school, and they don't trust you have the skill set you needed for them to promote their listings. But there's the other type of guys who respect a young grind and want you to take you along and want to grow you as a person. And those are the people that normally reply to you and say, oh, you can come and hop on to the next shoot on the next listing, and I'll keep you in mind for the next shoot, things like that. And the true story here is that I've actually went to Toronto just for a real estate agent to shoot his condo. So I just offered him free shoots of the whole condos, HDR photos, and then I also created a house tour video, and that's actually my first house tour video, and it really sucks, but I mean, everyone starts somewhere, right? And while I was on site with him, I had a little chat with him, and he actually told me that he started working at 15 years old in McDonald's. So I can totally relate to how he's feeling, like, because I think the society needs so much young people with ambitious heart and have a passion in what they're doing. And whenever I see other young people or people around me started to do whatever that they're doing and they become very successful, it's just the most inspiring things for me to start grinding also. So fourth, I want to talk about how much I charge each client and how much I make so far. So honestly, I found that people don't really like to talk about money, especially in this like creative industry, because you just feel like as soon as you see other creators with a similar niche than you just see competitors everywhere. But honestly, I think that's just the worst way that you can be in this industry, because you just isolate yourself and you just avoid building up networks, which I already talked about. That's pretty important. So when I talk about money, I don't want you to take this as like jealousy or I'm not bragging or anything, but I want you to feel inspired, and I just truly want to give you some insights and value on how you can also start this thing. Alright, so with all that out of the way, so basically everything is publicly available. If you go onto my website, which I already have a link down below, so you can go to the pricing page and see how much I charge for each kind of sized houses, for photos package, drone packages, and also house tour videos. And just take an example, for these space video tours for social media, I charge $150 for them, and I strategically made them 10 or 20% lower than the market price in my area. So many of you guys ask me how much I charge and how much they should charge for their business if they're trying to get into it. I always say just charge 10 or 20% less than the big photographers in your area, because in this way you're more competitive and you also don't like devalue yourself too much. So yeah, that basically wrap up everything for this video and what I learned these past few months doing real estate photography. Now again, as I mentioned and previously, I don't want this video to be a demotivating, jealousy, sort of bragging video. But I want you to take inspiration and take away value from this video and looking at how only a 14-year-old is already making money doing things his love. So I genuinely hope that you took away some insights from this video. Hopefully it answers some of your questions about how this young dude is already doing all these crazy stuff. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.